You're listening to the AFTERBUZZ TV Network, now the largest new media platform on the web, and your #1 source for after-show entertainment.
Very good, King Johnson.
From the AfterBuzz Studios in Los Angeles, California, presented by Maria Menounos and Bing.com, and streaming live thanks to Akamai Technologies, this is AfterBuzz TV's Basketball Wives After Show. We'll break down tonight's episode and get you all the latest news and gossip. If you'd like to buzz in on tonight's show, you can buzz us at 424-256-1729. That's 424-256-1729. And now, another post-game wrap-up show for your favorite TV show. It's AfterBuzz TV's Basketball Wives After Show.
All right, let me tell you something. Bing is for doing, and this is another AfterBuzz TV After Show for the show that we are watching and everyone is twittering and talking about. Of course, I'm talking about Basketball Wives Season number 4, Episode number 2. We're here in the AfterBuzz Studios. As you can see, my name is Ronnie Jr., and I'm ready to talk about these crazy ladies. And of course, sitting next to me, not these crazy ladies sitting next to me, I'm talking about the ones from the show. Some of you are more spicy than others, that's for sure. Again, I'm Ronnie Jr., I'm sitting with Fallon Mercedes. We haven't seen her in a while, but thank you, Phil, in the booth. She definitely deserves a clap. We have not seen her in quite a while. And we have from hollyhoops.net, the #1 website you could go to kind of combine entertainment and these ballers' wives and all that good stuff. This is Rebecca Prince back for a second week. Oh, yeah.
TV Network.
There you go. A second little coming of AfterBuzz intro, just in case you didn't really get it. We're letting you get
apologies.
it.
We need to do the waves
we just got our brand. We had our. You want to call it a video switcher? We'll call it a video switcher.
Yes.
Basically, a $100,000 piece of equipment that just came back.
Ballers.
And it still
Wow.
doesn't quite fully work.
I like the
Thank
fact
you,
that
guys.
I like
Thank
the
you.
fact that AfterBuzz has that type of capacity as far as like the equipment. 100,000, you said?
Yeah, he's just
Oh, man.
price dropping. Just in
I
case
like
for
that.
those of you
Just in
didn't
case
know
people
how
don't
we do it.
Yeah.
Which, by the way, if you think about it, though, I mean, technology-wise, like TV studios back in the day used to cost like millions of dollars. Now the fact that we're just saying $100,000,
We're thousandaires.
That's it.
there you go. The world has come a long way.
Maria Menounos and AfterBuzz, we definitely bring it. Once again, Rebecca Prince hanging out with us. She was here last week. Glad to have her. Spicy Mari always hanging out with me, doing
Gotta
so
be
many
here, partners in
incredible,
crime.
fun things. So let's talk about this show, you guys. This is episode number 2. Kenya is the one that everybody is talking about on Twitter because of these crazy. How does any one of you describe these videos?
Well,
What are they? Are they music videos?
I'm not a hater, so I'm just gonna go ahead and say that they're interesting.
Slightly erotic, but goofy at the same time.
I wouldn't say they're erotic.
Yeah, I wouldn't either.
But they're an attempt at a music video. They remind me of what I made with my friends when I was like 12 and I was at home.
Yeah.
That's what they were.
I guess what I want to know is, can she sing? Because clearly she's a little off on her rhythm, but
Yes.
I would like, they didn't show her or let you hear if she can even
Well, that's
sing.
your answer right
Exactly.
Let's pull her up. Let's see if she can
The way that the videos were shot and the way, like the dance moves that she was doing, it looked like spoofs to music videos.
You're
it didn't
right.
look like she was being
It did.
serious, but in their conversation, it let us know that she was being
very
serious.
serious.
So that makes it even worse.
And she took to Twitter after the show and she told everybody that her husband was the one filming them, or should we say soon to be ex-husband. So I don't know if that makes it more credible or less credible.
Less credible if it's the same guy that she's trying to stab or something like
Yes.
that. So really, Kenya Bell's just off her rocker. I really didn't not like her initially, but she is digging herself a grave, and I seem to like Keisha. And it seems like she's
Or
going
should it be
to,
Kesha to Susie?
which is going off the racial comment last week. I mean, I didn't really like that she called her Kesha, but whatever. Maybe she doesn't know her name or care to know her name. But I like Keisha more than I like Kenya, and they definitely get into it post the YouTube videos, just where Keisha realizes how not serious Kenya is.
Yeah.
Yeah, how shady she is. I mean, last week Kenya really didn't make any impression on the first episode, and this week she definitely came in as a force, whether it was via these YouTube videos or just her entourage while trying to make this video entering in
That was
Juliet's
crap,
supper
yeah.
club. I don't I don't know what that was about.
You're
but
from New York City, so can you give me the validity of that club, like how
Yeah.
exclusive that spot is? It was Juliet, correct?
Juliet's the hot spot. It's the same owner as Greenhouse.
Okay.
So it's one of the most popular clubs in New York. It's a small venue, but it's a nice club. Keisha's done a lot of stuff at Greenhouse. The club owner is a good friend of hers, Barry, and I think he was helping them out, giving them a favor, $1,000 an hour for, to rent out the hottest club in New York. I don't think that's a bad idea.
Yeah. The thing I like about Keisha is even though she's
Fallon,
new,
we're gonna have you get real close to the mic and just really
Just
express your
embrace the
point.
mic.
Yeah.
Well, what I like about Keisha is even though she's new to the show, you could tell she's comfortable in her skin. And she voiced up to Kenya and she's like, listen, I'm probably coming from a professional dance background. She's not going to put her face on this project if she's not coming professional with it
Right.
herself. So
Well-
I thought that was good of her to speak up and be like, listen, this is how it is. And
Go
I
ahead.
mean, Keisha is a professional dancer. Not only did she dance for the Nets in the NBA, she has her own dance company, which she,
Yep.
owns and operates. So she does productions like this a lot. So if you have someone like that in your corner who's trying to help you out and you just don't want to hear what they're saying, I mean, it kind of makes you wonder, like, and who are these random people that they brought in that they're trying to negotiate
entourage.
deals? Like,
Right.
oh, well, you have a top artist. We saw her YouTube videos. That is not a true statement.
And
so.
and in Hollywood, where we are, all four of us have seen these rah people that bring in the gigantic entourages, but aren't about nothing. And like Keisha, she's the one who has the history,
Right.
And yet she came, I guess, by herself. I mean, maybe she did come with somebody, but just for the sake of shooting, she probably just came by herself because
Yeah,
she was about business.
Right.
Keisha's not rolling
But
with
she
an
was being a good
entourage.
friend by telling her, like, hey, you're not obviously educated on the entertainment industry, and this is what you need. And Kenya was kind of just being absent-minded about, like, the actual production process and not doing her research. If she's a
Right.
serious artist, she should have been known the things that she needs.
Well, there is a clear difference between Keisha and Kenya in the sense that Keisha, as you said, being a friend of
Her weave
hers,
looks better.
there's there's always that. But even you said she had been approached to do this project, several times, and this
Yeah.
was actually the time that she did it. We are seeing that Kenya is just really. You do something on your website called Thirsty Tweets, something like that, right?
Yeah, I mean, we have all kinds of categories, but Thirsty Tweets is one of them.
Kenya would fit into that category.
Well, it depends on what Kenya's really tweeting. Last week, she was pretty good. She was laughing at herself. She was laughing at the comments that people were making about her dry weave, which is good that she was laughing because Kenya will stab you. So you would rather her be laughing at your comments than be really upset. But I don't know. We're going to have to just kind of see where she goes. I think Kenya's going to be a whole lot of drama, but
Yeah.
Now, did they say on there how long she's been a singer or pursuing her music career?
no.
Because she said she's
No,
35.
it
So
seems
is your
like a
career
joke.
just starting at 35 for music?
wait, can
Which
I
is
say-
disrespectful to anybody.
I'm
Sorry,
just
Fallon.
saying.
It is really disrespectful
Like,
to
you're
people
still
who've been
making
singing for
iPhone
years.
videos.
Yeah.
One of the quotes of the night from the show for me when Susie was, what did she
When
say?
she was
Like,
talking crazy,
yeah,
like
she was
the whole
like-
show.
She was like, "Why are you making videos at 30 years old?" I'm just like,
not videos, YouTube videos.
YouTube videos with,
And I have to agree.
with an iPhone, yeah.
It's like, how old are you?
I mean, I will admit that a lot of girls on these shows and other shows similar to this, they do just use the 15 minutes of fame to say, oh, all of a sudden I'm a singer. I mean, I don't want to talk bad about Royce, but maybe even Royce isn't as credible as she wants to pretend she is, which is okay. But it's okay because Royce, it's okay because this is Royce's, fourth season, so fine. She wants to politic it in a situation to give her, a different lane.
That's
Good for
obviously what
her,
she's
but
doing.
not Kenya, your first time. And I'm on Kenya's website, which is ridiculous, by the way. It's a goofy website. Don't go to it at all. And not only that, she has an about me section, a photo section, and she has a little bit of promotion when she was on the E channel's True Hollywood Story of Basketball Wives, because they did do a Basketball Wives
okay.
feature.
Yes.
Which why was E doing that anyway? But yes, what were
we
you gonna
didn't
say?
say my Beyonce workout. We didn't.
I was gonna save that one because she's
Wait,
just
she
all
has a Beyonce
she's all
workout?
kind of
She has a Beyonce
crazy.
workout.
See,
Why
I
don't you
thought
leave
that's
that
what,
to Beyonce?
but I
though?
thought some of those moves in the video
It
looked
looked
like
like
a
it.
bad
But
attempt
she's
at
like-
single ladies.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's
A
what it
very
was.
very bad
rendition.
attempt.
I mean, the thing about Kenya is she hasn't really been too aggressive in the sense that she's not been that evil. So I'm going to give her a little bit of
Right.
a pass so far.
She hasn't shown us very much personality either.
And you're right. Maybe that video was like her trying to imitate something. We could have got it all out of context, but it's not looking good for Miss Bell at all. That's just kind of how I see
Well,
it.
if you're imitating, that means you don't know who you are. So she might not know who she is as an artist yet.
It's not looking good for Kenya Bell. That's
I
for
know,
sure.
poor
But
baby.
also as a musical artist, and especially if you are coming in the game in your mid 30s,
35.
don't you think you would want to make the best first impression possible? I mean, and that's what I think Keisha was saying too. If you're, I don't want to be part of something mediocre. If this is your first splash into the world, you should go big or go home. I mean, and if you don't have the money to do it, well, then stay home.
I'm just upset that she has this awful website. She's on a hit show. Like, I would just say, like, invest your money somewhere. Like, at least make your presentation look good. You know, Phil and I, you know, who's working the booth right now, we talk about presentation. You have, okay, fine. Let's say you are ridiculous. You are not a singer, but you're going to try. At least, like, put all the other pieces together. Talent-wise, fine. You might have some dumb people that buy it. That's okay. Maybe I'm one of them. But my point is, like, why can't she get it together is what she needs to do. So anyways, we don't hate Kenya, but I like Royce, but she had some man issues. Is that what we're going to say?
Yeah, I think
daddy issues.
a few of the ladies had man issues on this episode. We saw, you know, Evelyn kind of talking about her struggle on who's going to walk her down the aisle if and when her and Ocho make it there. She also, you know, her brother-in-law, she's having issues, you know, dealing with his cancer situation. And then, yeah, you have Royce, who once again has fallen in love very quickly, and her father is not pleased about it.
No, go ahead, Fallon. I
all.
mean, because this happens every season with Royce, right? I mean,
does.
Every
is that the biggest
season.
divide with her dad and her? Is that like the big issue?
That's what I'm thinking. I'm thinking a lot of these girls have these issues, or it really stems down. It seems like it probably to their fathers being absent or not treating them well, or
Right.
Or there's a lack of, and she's fulfilling it with a man each time.
But I would have to say it must be hard as being a reality star, coming into a limelight from just being a regular person now on a hit VH1 show. The dating game must be very hard. So I do give Royce a little slack, you know, like she's trying to be sincere and find true love, but at the same time, like maybe she feels certain guys are going after her because of her new, you know, credibility on TV. So maybe that's why she's been going through so many.
Which was the supposed issue with last season's boyfriend, is he was taking advantage of her. He was a photographer, whatever. But
now
you know,
this one's a football player.
this guy, he
You
is
did
an
mention
NFL
that when we were
player.
watching that.
Yeah.
Why did you mention that? What was the big push on that? That he wouldn't be chasing her?
I mean, this guy's obviously
He's doing his own thing.
Yeah, he's obviously not using her. He's got a contract, which is more than some people can say. And obviously her and Evelyn have more in common than they think. Jennifer and Evelyn may not date the same guys, but obviously Evelyn and Royce do.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know, but it's also funny because you hear all these ladies all the time talking about getting out of these relationships with athletes and how they wouldn't do it again. And then you just go from a basketball player to a football player. And is there a difference? Less away games,
I would sympathize.
but that's it, right?
I would sympathize with Royce and her daddy issues and her love problems if this first episode that just aired, or not, this is the second episode, but in the beginning of the episode, when she first steps on and she's meeting with her publicist, and her publicist is like, I have boom, boom, boom for you. I have this show, I have this audition, I have this interview for you. And she's complaining about having to do her work. Like, she's like, oh, it's too much. When am I going to sleep? I mean, I'm a reality star now. How am I going to fit all this in? I'm sorry, boo-boo. I can't sympathize with anything if you're not on your business. Like, this is a golden opportunity for you. You need to be on your hustle and on your grind. Forget the dudes and the relationship. She needs to be focusing on her career. And I feel like she needs to channel all that energy, get it off the guys, and into her future. And I'm sorry, I can't respect anybody who doesn't have that hustle.
No, I agree.
I was going to ask, why don't you like Royce? But you pretty much summed it up.
Like, I was trying to like her because you said you liked her.
We do, yeah. Most of us
and it's not that
did
I
last week.
dislike her. I just think she's the least entertaining on the show.
Yeah.
And that's like one of my favorite qualities about people is when they're entertaining.
I don't think she's the least entertaining. I think this episode was a little much, and we never want to see anybody complain, you know, when the opportunity is given. And she, you know, talent-wise, that's also
on her
questionable.
audition, I was thoroughly impressed and surprised that she actually brought it. She had great energy. She looked like she was nailing her lines. She was very confident in her audition, although she said she didn't think she got it, and she wound up booking it. So I was very proud of her for that because I didn't think she was going to be able to
So
come
she's
with
going to
it.
do a
She's gonna
play.
do
She's actually doing it She's been doing it. It started a couple weeks ago, and she's been in New York doing the shows. So I think so far so good.
Well, for that we give her credit,
And
of course.
I got to give her props for that because she nailed it. So she's trying to get about that business, but she's still got these guy issues going on.
Could you take her serious though? Now that we've seen her in this reality light, can you take her serious as? Because for me, when she was acting, I think she did a good job, but still that Royce of who she is on the show comes forward. So
And
I can't really
They
take
said
her
it's
that
hard for
serious.
reality stars to
break out.
transition into being taken seriously as an actress.
That's why they take all of our hosting jobs.
Exactly.
Very true. I
They
mean,
can't host either.
Mario Lopez.
the idea with that is we have been saying that for so many years. So there is I would say an availability for you to kind of cross over, but you have to do it very strategic. And her saying that she's overwhelmed and oh poor me and get it on a calendar because I just can't handle all this. That doesn't make her look like she has the tenacity to be a winner ultimately, but she is plugging in and she's building some seeds. She did.
She had a book come out already too, so she is on her grind. But I do think it's probably
Like somebody who studies
when you
acting.
go from being a dancer to then having all these opportunities come, whether it's a lip gloss line or whatever.
These days we've learned there is no way or right way or wrong way. Obviously the reality lane is different because you get the instant exposure, but you have the long-term credibility.
Or the talent.
But then you do have, your actress who's been studying, forever in North Hollywood, and she's still in her broke down apartment, not
There's
making
real
it.
lesbians out there.
I give each person do whatever way it takes for you to get on. It's not sleep with everybody, but there's been that done too. So credibility in reality stars, that's a question that'll go forever because I think it's been. As we go further on, it has been more acceptable, but Royce didn't look that great with it. But you never know. You definitely never know. And I like Royce. This wasn't my favorite Royce episode for sure, but I do like her for the long term, definitely. So Evelyn, you talk about also, Rebecca, daddy issues, or not really daddy issues, but Chad Ochocinco issues.
Yeah, I think the Ocho conversation was probably the biggest issue for Evelyn, where we basically see her confronting him. If you follow the blogs, you've seen.
I follow your blog,
Is he
hollyhoops.net. That's it,
Is
baby.
She has the latest scoop.
Is he not cheating? And at the end of the day,
Aren't
I
they
think
all
that
cheating?
I
Isn't
think
that the
that conversation confirmed it. He is cheating on her, and she either just needs to get on board, or
he
they
was
need
trying
to
his
be
best
honest
to be
about
honest.
it.
Yeah, that
He was trying to be
surprised me.
honest.
Like, to come out clearly on TV, like, sweetie, this is how it is. Either we're going to take the girl home with us,
Right.
or you're just going to let it be because this is how it is. What did he say?
He said he's trying. He said he's made a 180.
work in
He's still
progress.
It's a work
trying
in
to
progress, yeah.
get that 360. But that's definitely an interesting dynamic to be in because Evelyn came out of a 10-year relationship with an athlete, and that cheating and X, Y, and Z had to be a factor.
Mm-hmm.
Also, his bankruptcy probably didn't help either. But and then now you have her getting into this other situation where she feels like she does have something good. So is all the other BS kind of worth it? And I don't know. Every woman I think is different, but
if each of you
what are
women,
your expectations?
If each of you women dated an athlete, do you go into it expecting that you're going to get cheated on? Because it is pretty much the thing that's going to happen to them. You have to just. Hasn't Shawnee even talked about that publicly? Like, I repeatedly, had to just play my role, and I was the mother when he came back.
There's exceptions to the rules, but I don't think Evelyn's the exception.
With you being spicy, I could imagine your athlete could go off and do his thing, and you may go off and do yours. Is that fair to say?
If you work that out in your relationship, it's personal. That's between
Right.
you and him.
Yeah,
But
I agree.
majority men, they don't even have to be athletes. Majority men with money,
Thank
power,
you.
respect, fame, whatever.
Absolutely.
Even
No one wants to talk
you don't even
about
gotta
it,
have
but-
all that and be a man and still be looking at other women and partake in all their splendors. So
Splendors.
Yes. So it doesn't necessarily mean like what you're doing and how much you have is going to make you cheat. It just has to do what kind of man you are. And if being faithful is a requirement, then she needs to tell him that up front because she knows obviously he's not going to do that. He's laid it out there. He's told her, he's been very real with her. She knows what it is. If you have to ask your man if he's going to be faithful, that tells you your answer right there. The fact that you have to ask him.
And what did he say? He said he was trying to, or he was going to, or something.
He's gonna hope to.
Switched up like halfway through. He's
Like,
like,
I'm thinking
No,
about
no,
it.
yeah, he said, I'm thinking about it, and then he said, I'm doing it. And it's like, oh, there's a big difference between thinking about it and doing
He
it.
said something like, "I'm gonna try not to cheat," or
And then
it's
he
just-
also said most people
don't
have
like
tried
to.
and they failed.
Yeah.
So basically saying, why keep on trying?
How do we beat the odds in our relationship to stay together? I appreciate him at least entertaining the idea that he wanted to make things work and kind of comforting her and letting her know, look, I do care about you. I want to make this relationship work. You know, let's just have a threesome. Like, I appreciate his realness.
And
maybe Susie can join and show
he's
her.
saying,
track
he's
record,
saying, look,
you
boo,
know.
I don't want to sneak. I just want you to be a part of it. Like,
Yeah.
you know, that takes a lot.
It's very 2012, and she's
Very
being honest and real about it.
2012.
She does. I say every time, like, I like Evelyn's character because she's the most vulnerable in a lot of situations. Do we agree? I mean, that's kind of how I see her.
Evelyn is honest.
I like Evelyn. I really do. I also think a little bit of her is strategic because I feel like she is really going for the spin-off reality show for her and Chad is what I see a little bit too because I think she's a little smart in that way. Am I like just too much with that?
No, I feel the same, and I feel like she's been in the game for so long. She's dated athletes before, so she knows how the game works.
Yeah.
So she's like, okay, I have this opportunity with this man. We could do our own thing. We could both brand ourselves, and at the end of the day, if it doesn't work out, she had to come up.
Right.
Absolutely.
You agree? You're kind of on board with her doing all that? I mean, that's how you see it as well?
I mean, you know, I think, yeah, she's making the most. They're definitely going to try and get a show if they make it down the aisle. I just think it's really going to be the fact of, are they going to make it?
Right.
Because, you know, at the same time, and she's been in this situation before, Evelyn, with all of these women, tolerates no bullshit, basically. So it's funny to see then her with Chad
Right.
taking, you know,
So much
the
crap.
stance that the stance that she's taking. But like I said, that you know, it's personal, it's their relationship. It may not be for, you know, you, it may not be for me, but who knows?
Yeah.
You
But
know?
do you even feel that their relationship is real?
I think so.
Why do you
I don't
think so,
know.
Ronnie?
Because I really like Evelyn, so I feel like I
So,
just
like, who
I
could
will
possibly love Evelyn?
yeah,
She is fabulous.
I like Evelyn. I like her on the show, and I think she it's as real as it's going to be in this environment, in a reality show environment.
That's a good way to put it. It's
yeah.
as real as it can be in a reality environment.
I think they like each other.
Yeah, I definitely.
I think they're fond of each other.
But I do.
I think they like to get
I don't
it
know about
in.
I don't know if they're in
Wait,
love.
say what she
but-
said. Yeah, they like the sex.
They're
is
physically,
is,
yeah,
is
you know,
there.
they like each other. They're down to get it in. But at first, when I first found out that they were dating, and then I saw her daughter, who is
Beautiful.
gorgeous.
Is
and
this the 18-year-old that went to
Shanice,
college
yeah.
out west, right? I
yeah,
mean,
she's out in Cali somewhere. When I first saw her, I was like, if
Wait.
that were my daughter and Ocho was my man, this is not gonna work. I hope my daughter's better than this, but like that looked like his typical stereotype of a girl. And then I was like, oh, this is not going to end well. Someone's going to be on Maury like, my
What?
fiance slept with my daughter.
Oh, wow. Well, Evelyn has great genes because her mom looks fabulous, too.
Mm-hmm.
When they were sitting down to eat, I was like, wow, her mom is beautiful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I see where she gets it from.
I love seeing her family on the show. She talks with her sister on the show. She talks about the brother. That was kind of a sad moment or
Yeah.
whatever. The brother-in-law, right?
Brother-in-law, yeah.
And once again, that shows Evelyn's realness. Like,
what I
she
said
was
at the
vulnerable.
beginning, yeah.
She was very emotional. She really cares about her family. She's a loving person. So I do hope that she finds love and she can add to her family with her relationship.
And
we'll see if it's
we
Ocho
all
Cinco.
know she gives a great Jen impression, which
She
you
sure
know,
did.
Fallon, we haven't talked about it because when we were watching the show together, Fallon and I sort of agreed we're not going to talk about the show yet, so we could just bring it here. I don't like Jen; she's my least favorite. Now, are you loving Jen? And what about the Evelyn impression? It was great, right? No,
It was
See, I
don't
so
don't you
good.
dare
So
defend
good.
Jen. Showing you the door.
the opposite.
Oh, you're a Jen
Like,
lover?
All right, so when I first started watching the show seasons ago, Evelyn was one of my favorites because, like you guys were saying, she keeps it real. But I've been seeing a side to her lately that I don't like. As an older woman, I feel like you should.
Who's older?
Evelyn.
Oh, I thought you were calling yourself older. I'm like, you're like 22 years old. What are you talking
older
about?
than
Okay.
But
got confused.
as an older woman, I feel like she should carry herself a little better. Don't jump on the table, you know, every time you get a chance to beef with somebody.
This is not the Real Housewives of New Jersey.
Exactly. Like, I feel like I relate to her when she becomes vulnerable, when she talks about her daddy
Yeah.
issues. But then when you turn around and you're quick to smack somebody that you had such a great relationship with, it just doesn't sit well with me. Well, Jen, on the other hand, to me, she's a little more sophisticated, even though people were calling her bougie.
Oh no.
She is totally bougie, and if anyone denies that, I mean, come on.
But see, I think
But
that-
I feel like she carries herself. She's not so quick to, you know,
I
she's
agree.
a businesswoman. I think she thinks of her brand before she's about to get up and smack somebody. But maybe
You don't
totally
think Jen
agree,
is trying
but I
too
do think
hard,
she's
though?
bougie.
In Evelyn's defense, I don't
Jen
think
is-
that it's an age thing or a class versus unclassy. I think that's her personality. She's just a feisty woman. So at 80 years old, I think she's still gonna be doing
Good
that.
point.
Oh, come
I don't
on.
think that.
Well, maybe not. Maybe not all of
but I
that.
just- I don't
throwing her
respect
grandchildren,
that.
whatever.
If my
I think that's
grandmother
true. I
is
just don't-
throwing
My
glasses,
grandmother
we're gonna have a
still will
problem.
try to spank my mom.
Well, that's a-
Like,
that's a-
I'm
that's a
sorry.
good-
She got that feisty blood in her.
It's a great point, but I mean, also what she's saying too is good. Like you're saying, as you get older, she does need to mature at some point.
Yeah,
is
you
what you're
have
saying.
you have a daughter that's in college. You're a businesswoman.
I wonder what the daughter
like,
thinks
You
about.
should be setting an example, is what you're
Yeah,
saying.
but at the same time, she might be playing into this whole reality role.
So you
She
think
might
she
want to
should-
be on the season next.
Wait, you talking about Evelyn is playing
Evelyn.
into? No, I think completely opposite. This is what I don't like about Jen, because I feel like Jen is turning into, and I could only do a comparison to really get you guys where I'm thinking. Jen is doing what like Heidi Montag would do when she was on the hills. She is doing
no.
whatever it takes to be like something interesting about her. She's trying so hard. She's making the vagina
Heidi
comment.
Montag had a
No, but I would love Jen to come in studio so I could, because again, when I talk about a reality show person, I really don't like to have such negative things, but I worry more for Jen. That is where my comments come from, because I do see her going down a road of just seeking attention, craving attention, just being so off her rocker
I
with what's
don't.
going
I
on
don't
to
feel
her.
that way.
I don't. I mean,
Well,
I'm
why
not-
is she referring to herself as Jen? This 6 times last episode. If we did a drink, this is just water right now. But if we did a drinking game, I'm gonna be right on this one. If we did a drinking game, we would have had to be, really like off our rocker, because she kept saying, "Well, I'm just worried about Jennifer," and with the lisp,
Yeah,
I'm just
whenever anybody talks in third person, it's a little
Yeah.
awkward.
red flag, red flag.
she did do that very often.
But the
right?
thing is, I don't.
But convince me, go.
Well, my thing is with her is like, you aren't gonna see Jen. Jen is not coming to the table to sit down with you and throw punches or throw glasses or whatever other item is on there that can fly. Like Jen might talk shit, and last week she definitely stood up for herself to Evelyn, but I don't ever feel like Jen comes into a situation confrontational. I don't think that is her role. Maybe she's feeling herself a little more after a couple seasons of Basketball Wives, but if we're gonna talk about that, I mean,
That's
let's
everybody.
look at all
That's
of these
everybody.
ladies.
Okay.
Exactly,
Well, I
you know?
hated the way she displayed herself when she was dealing with Eric last year. I didn't like her attitude and her ego that she has. It's just too much for me. Are you taking his side, her
Oh,
side?
I take her side all the
Oh,
way. He was so
he
disrespectful.
threw a
Exactly.
drink in her
that was
face.
the worst.
Homie's
so
got a
disrespectful.
bump on his head growing out. Like, I don't even know what that's about.
I know, but
and then
she's
he
just
had
so-
the nerve to throw a drink in her face.
And especially somebody that you've been married to for years, and like, yeah, you're going through a divorce, but this is on national television. This
Yeah.
is what the cameras were showing. Imagine behind closed doors what
what
their
you
marriage was
Guarantee
like.
or not, that's
If
the
you
ultimate
can-
disrespect.
Yeah, if you could throw, to your wife, soon to be ex-wife,
Well,
throw
that's a tough,
something in her face.
I can't talk that one out, because of course that's a terrible thing to do.
That was-
I would never do it, but I mean, I don't like her attitude this season. I got rid of loose weight with Eric, and I'll get rid of Evelyn too. This is not her, and that's what I'm worried about. And that's why I say the Heidi Montag thing, which is like I said, I just was off the top of the head. I was not thinking comparison wise. It didn't really make sense
yeah, because
actually.
Heidi Montag is
But
like
but what I'm going
biggest attention whore
But I'm
ever.
going with the route of like Jen is just okay. The reason I said Heidi Montag, let's not compare the type of people they are. I'm talking about how Heidi entered the show acting one way, being one person, and is now completely different. Let's all
They're
say
making
But the
career
only-
moves and
Evelyn will.
strategizing.
You said Jen will walk into a room and she's not going to be confrontational, but darn it, Evelyn's causing all these problems. Well, Evelyn would do that if she was still in. Where's she from?
Right.
Where's she?
Bronx.
Exactly.
So do I have a point? A little.
a little bit
Yes.
at the same time.
Talk to us,
Jen-
online folks.
I'm sorry, Ronnie, you're hitting it on the money. She would be that on, off the camera, regardless.
Jen has changed. We've got to embrace
The only
that.
change with Jen is that now she is not up Evelyn's ass, to be honest. I mean, in the first couple seasons, she was Evelyn's yes man. She was Evelyn's wingman. And now she isn't. So,
Assume
yeah,
her
you're seeing
that's
a
great.
different-
That's-
you're
But is it
seeing a
because she's
different
feeling
side.
herself, or is it because that's who she really is?
I mean, I also think Evelyn gets mad and holds a grudge over stupid shit. Evelyn's also the kind of person
Stupid
who
stuff.
That's true.
stuff. Sorry
That's
about
true.
that. Every season has had beef with a different person.
Everyone.
First it was
Tammy,
Royce, then it was
Royce,
Susie, then it was Tammy. It's always somebody. So
now it's
listen,
Jen,
I
and
love
Jen-
So
I
Jen's
love
just like,
Evelyn,
it's my
but
time.
yeah, she's definitely.
And I think it's good that Jen is not playing into it. Don't feed the fire when that's just
Exactly.
unnecessary. That's
Why are you gonna go around in a circle and have the same fight? So she wrote the blog. She didn't write the blog. either accept the apology and move on, or
And don't go to those blogs. Go to hollyhoops.net.
Yes,
I mean, that's what you need to do.
exactly.
Yeah, you're right. It could go round and round forever. Okay, cool. What I would hope for the show is that we don't see it too much. I want other storylines. I don't need to see Jen and Evelyn being the entire thing. And because this we're talking about some crazy.
It's definitely gonna go there though, because
I know,
you still
I know.
have
It's
you have
fine.
Shawnee's birthday party, which happened in Miami once they first get down to Miami, and Evelyn slaps Jen with her purse, and then you have them in Miami again, and their mutual friend, who is now Evelyn's assistant, slaps Jen across the face. So that's definitely gonna be a big part of the show going forward.
Well, stepping outside of slapping, we're not going to do it now, but we're going to do it very soon. I wanted to shout out our Lauren Turner, who couldn't make it in studio today, but the amazing, beautiful Lauren Turner. She watches the show much like I do, and even though I said some kind of interesting stuff about Jen, because I don't really like her character on the show, edited character on the show, Lauren will do a report called Beyond the Drama, where we get to see some of the other things that women are doing as far as charity, or, I mean, sometimes it's harder to pull, but Lauren found a way to do it. So we'll do that after the commercial break. Let's wrap up this, as far as this show. We also had Susie. Clearly, we didn't know if she was going to carry on from season 3 to 4 as being the...
She's the shit stirrer. She does it. I mean, Susie, last year we saw a different side of Susie because she was not in the circle, so she was on her best behavior all the time. She wasn't around to be involved in the drama. But gosh, it's been 2 episodes, and everywhere Susie can get in there and start talking about people and stirring the pot, she has done it.
How many dinners did Susie go on this episode?
That's true. It was
and
always...
that's what people are tweeting. They're like, all these girls ever do is just eat.
Yeah,
Don't
they
ever cook?
eat and talk. I mean, you need to be going out and doing things. If you don't want,
I think it'll get worse when the birthday parties and all that stuff. That takes it to even the next level. But yeah, no, like Susie's always, okay, it was me and so talking about so. That's
she
literally...
wants attention. When you want your friend's attention, you're gonna talk about whatever drama's going on and try to stir some stuff up so that you can feel included. Nobody's talking about Susie. Nobody's ever talking about that. They're like, whatever Susie said.
Well,
and we also mentioned while we were watching the show, no one's talking about Susie. And why does Susie never talk about her kids?
Thank you.
Ever.
Oh, you did bring that point up.
Why is Susie? Susie's talking about Kenya being a mom of 2 kids and 35. Susie, where the hell are your kids at? I've never heard one word about them.
She never shows them either.
And what's the difference between Kenya doing YouTube videos and being kind of raunchy or whatever, or just stupid is kind of her thing, and then like her, what's her name, Susie, just being just kind of just as goofy? I don't know.
Well,
like
she one thing that I was going to say that was spicy on the show was that she owned her sexuality. She definitely admitted to, hey, I'm a pervert. That's how kids are made. Your parents are perverts. And so she openly admitted, hey, I love talking about sex. That's what I do. Who cares? I don't care what people think. But then at the same time, you're going to talk about Kenya for making these sexual videos. All Kenya's doing is just making videos. You're talking about sex. It's the same thing.
Well, I didn't like the way Susie took it to Evelyn and made it sound like Keisha was such a prude, or calling her a pervert. Yeah,
like come
that
on.
didn't really happen. Keisha didn't like it, but it wasn't a big deal.
All she said was she thought it was weird that she was standing up in the middle of the dinner.
Oh, you thought she was putting dubs on it?
You know, doing her hand motions. And listen, if I went to dinner with someone I'd never met before for the first time, and that was kind of how they conducted themselves within the first 5 minutes, it wouldn't be a problem for me. It's but it's definitely something I might be like, wow, she's a little extra. She's a little extra.
She was being silly. I think she was just being herself, being silly. I don't think that you need to be prude or conservative. Like if that's you, why wait and bring that out 2 weeks from now? Just be yourself from front. And I think that's what Susie was doing.
For those of you who watched her from the beginning.
But then you can't get mad at people who, for
you know what?
the first
it
time
might even be a question for our viewers
slash
a caller. This is not Lauren Turner. So I'm gonna patch him through.
Let's do it. Basketball Wives AfterBuzz. What's the word? Hello.
Hey, what's up? This is Bam Erickson.
Oh, Bam Erickson, how are you, sir? What did you think about the
Good.
show? I know that you like Tammy Roman, as do I. She wasn't really on this episode, so weigh in. What'd you think?
Well, I've been listening to you guys, and I agree with Ronnie in regards to Jennifer.
All right.
Keep it going.
Don't stop there. Keep telling me how great I am.
Oh, okay.
Why don't you like?
Oh yeah,
Jennifer?
you're wonderful. No, you're doing really good handling being on the panel with a bunch of ladies. So you're doing good.
Thank
but
you,
I do agree with you in the sense that Jennifer, she's not the same person, but I understand why she's changing. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean, the roles have changed, so you've gotta evolve with your role change.
So that's what you think. You think she's evolving.
I think so
I
because
don't think she's as far as the situation with her and Evelyn. I think that now that they're not friends, I think she's just tired and she realizes that she is a puppet. So now she's kind of like standing up for herself. But I do think that she needs to be more genuine. She needs to fess up. The whole publicist thing, come on, just fess up and just say, hey, I said it.
That's true.
Rather than a phony apology.
Well, here's what it comes down to. If she is not being authentic, that's fine. I'm saying all the negative things I'm saying about Jen with love because I feel like Jen is going to go into a ditch. Not a real ditch. I'm sorry. It's not mob. This is not Mob Wives. No. I feel like she's going to go into a zone of like depression because I feel like she's completely not being herself, and that is going to hurt her. Again, I use the Heidi Montag example because
I think you're taking it too far with Jen.
Well,
I really do.
He really doesn't like Jen.
She's going into a depression.
This is my clinical diagnosis.
We're gonna get Jen to grow on him.
I think Jen.
Well, if Evelyn was her only friend
it's
that
gonna
she's
be
had for
switched.
10 years, then God help her.
If what?
If Evelyn is her only friend that she's had for 10 years to where she can't move on because of Evelyn, get a life.
Oh, okay.
One thing that I do feel bad about Jen, though, is when you do have a friend like Evelyn, who you guys said, gets upset. She always starting something with each friend. You have to know it's only a matter of time before she's coming for you. Mm-hmm. And so I think Jen kind of knew that, and she was a little bit prepared for that and irritated having been with her through all of those different disputes. And now she's kind of just like, okay, this is the moment I've been waiting for.
Well, yeah, I mean, you're right.
And I think if we're telling anyone to move on from the situation, you need to be telling Evelyn that because she's the one who seems to be holding on to this grudge. Jen's done with this.
Agreed.
She's
That's
walking.
right.
She said she got rid of Eric, who's dead weight, and now she's getting rid of that. So
But is she really over it? She's not.
I don't know.
All right, that's why we have opinions here at AfterBuzz. Hey, Bam, thank you for shooting us a phone call. Bam Erickson of SpillItTV.com. We will also be reaching out to Bam because we're going to, as we've talked to some of the Basketball Wives LA girls like Gloria Gouvan, we've reached out to her publicity team, and we'll go do some footage as far as, Bam could possibly cover it for our show here. Anyways, we'll talk about that later. Thank you, Bam, for calling. Let's jump to a commercial. AfterBuzzTV.com, Basketball Wives, this is your after show on Bing.
AfterBuzz TV.
Hi, I was once like you, a lazy, angry loner whose only joy was watching TV and surfing the net. And like you, after I'd see one of my favorite TV shows, I'd be so excited and have so many questions that I'd actually have to talk to my douchebag coworkers about it at the water cooler. Then I discovered AfterBuzzTV.com. AfterBuzz TV produces after-show webcasts and podcasts for TV series of all kinds, like post-game wrap-up shows for all your favorite TV shows. AfterBuzz TV hosts are industry insiders who break down episodes of shows, take calls from fans, and interview cast and crew from each series, with over 60 different after shows, from Boardwalk Empire to American Idol to Vampire Diaries to Real Housewives, and more. Now, after a night of TV, I can ignore my stupid coworkers, who I hate, and go straight to my desk and watch or listen to all my favorite AfterBuzz TV after shows, and have all the TV fan interaction I need. Thank you, AfterBuzz TV.
AfterBuzz TV. What do you want to buzz about?
All right, what do you want to buzz about? What do you want to bing about? AfterBuzzTV.com. Of course, you're also checking us out on iTunes, YouTube, the whole thing. We definitely appreciate that. We are discussing Basketball Wives, season number 4, episode 2, getting better and better, this series. I, of course, liked the seasons as they went when Tammy got on, but we didn't see her at all this episode, nor did we see Shawnee, but that is okay.
Tammy stopped by real quick to give Royce a little man advice. She agrees with her dad, slow it down, but
Right.
That was all we got this week.
That's all we got from Tammy, but I'm sure we'll see more in the upcoming episodes. I believe we may be ready, Phil, with our Lauren Turner report, or we'll get that together right now.
She is here.
Oh, Lauren Turner. Okay.
Hello.
Hi, guys.
Hi. Lauren, AfterBuzz loves you.
Lauren.
So, Ronnie,
Yes, go ahead.
Hey, what about Jennifer? I mean, that was kind of mean when you said that she's going to go into a ditch. What was that?
No, I meant a depression. A depression. No, I did. I honestly messed up. I meant a depression. I get worried for the reality stars who lose themselves. I'm saying everything with love. So you could really, there's nothing you can tell me that'll make me feel bad for what I'm saying. That's why I would love to get her in the studio at some point, because I felt like it's just going in a depression, and I worry about.
Well, she just went through a divorce. Give her some credit.
I know, give her some
Well, I don't think
reality TV,
Well, I don't-
divorce.
We're gonna go
She's
over
losing
and over.
her best friend.
Okay.
Lauren, what do you think about Evelyn saying that she might not invite Jennifer to the wedding? Do you think that's taking it too far?
I mean, I already think the entire relationship between them, like this fight has gone too far. From the beginning, you know how I feel about that. I think that, friendship is so important, and I think that by the end of the season that they're going to be back to at least being cordial towards one another again.
Good.
But I do think, as we were talking about, going beyond the drama and all that, I really do think Jennifer, she still has, her life outside of this show. She still has her Flirty Girl Fitness. She still has her Lucid Cosmetics lip gloss line. And I think that hopefully she can find strength and, love and positivity through that. And all of her fans, the people that actually do love her. So.
Oh, that
was cute.
Lauren, you bring the love. I don't know that Lauren could ever go on a reality show because I feel hand hug. Lauren, do you have any other reports as far as what these girls are doing outside of the craziness you see on the show?
Well, I mean, your girl Royce, you guys were just talking about Royce. She was actually at Fashion Week on the carpet.
I saw
or on
that.
the runway or whatever you call it.
With homegirl from Mob Wives, yeah.
Yeah, she's looking great. New girl Keisha. I know Rebecca talked about this. Our girl from Holly Hoops. She has her own professional entertainment dance company,
right?
Which is called Sugar and Spice, and I think it's quite spicy. Marty might agree with me.
Spicy.
But yeah, so she's an entrepreneur as well. I mean, Ronnie's favorite wifey, Tammy. She was just interviewing with HollywoodLife.com, and she said she's taking counseling, and she's very serious about finding peace and working on her anger issues. So I don't know. We'll see about that one.
That's 20 years in the making from the real world, right? I'm just saying.
She was wild even on the real world. Crazy. Thank you.
And then
yes.
Evelyn quickly was looking gorgeous in a recent pre-wedding photo shoot. I don't know the future of this wedding thing, but she was in Styling House November Lily. This is a bridal Styling House magazine, and she looks so beautiful. And I mean, of course, I'm all about positivity, so I'm hoping that her and Ocho Cinco, I hope this is real and that she can really walk down that aisle because she's going to make a beautiful bride. And I hope Jennifer is right there next to her. So.
Me too. You've convinced me, Lauren. All of our hearts are now lifted in a nice way. We're hand hugging Lauren in theory.
Hand hugs all around.
Does that wrap it up, Lauren?
That wraps it up. Yeah,
okay.
That's all I have for this week. But next week, I mean, of course, we want to go beyond the drama again because we don't want to just talk about this negative stuff.
There it is, the Beyond the Drama report from Lauren Turner. Where can they find you on Twitter once again?
My Twitter is actually Lauren's Love. Lauren's LAURENSLUV. I changed it.
I love that Twitter.
Okay, good. Cool. We'll see you in studio at some point again, too, Lauren. And thank you for giving us the Beyond the Drama report. We appreciate it.
No problem. Bye, guys.
Bye. And just to piggyback a little bit off of her Beyond the Drama, LA basketball wife Laura Govan this past week was...
She's slim now, huh?
Yeah, she slimmed down. She's coming out with the fitness DVD, but she also held a charity event at Bloomingdale's over the weekend for, I think they're called... Well, I don't know the name of the cause offhand, but yeah, so it was her, Laura, Matt Barnes. They did a big charity event during All-Star Weekend in Orlando. So, Laura's always kind of giving back, which I guess is nice because she's got the time to do so.
Yeah. What is your comparison? What is your comparison with Basketball Wives LA versus Miami? Because I can't. Miami, I'm into. The LA one will take some time.
Well, LA, Gloria Govan was obviously on the first. That's who. We can't forget about her, too. Evelyn had issues with her, Evelyn and Shawnee, but, she was originally on Miami. Now she's on L.A. The ladies of LA.
And they start shooting pretty soon, like in the next couple weeks, right?
You know, the ladies of LA are definitely interesting. It's a different group. It's a little bit of an older group, I would say. And you have crazy Jackie Christie, who probably is the only woman who has an NBA husband who hasn't cheated on her.
I was gonna mention that too.
I don't know if that's because Doug is crazy or
That's
he's
what I was
just
gonna
scared of her.
say.
I don't know.
She's been pitching that little.
They've been getting married every year for 20 years.
Yeah, for
or
like
something.
16
I
or
love that.
something.
That's so romantic.
And didn't they do?
It's cute, but she's crazy, so he's got to be crazy.
Did you have
too.
any idea she was
They're
that crazy? Because
crazy in
did she
love.
do a show with him once where she was probably had creative control, and this show don't.
I never saw a show with her before, but if you follow basketball,
They did,
if you
him and-
follow anything about Basketball Wives, for years and years and years, you've heard about Jackie Christie and how she travels with Doug. And, that's not something that a lot of wives do, and it definitely was a big topic of conversation amongst the NBA. But, whatever she's doing is working for their situation,
Right.
so can't knock it. But
it's personal in their relationship. That's between them.
And
Exactly.
the major difference I saw in the Basketball Wives Miami versus LA is Miami was the cute girls, and then LA was Gloria and the not cute girls. That was kind of the big difference. I mean, this is a fact. This is not an opinion.
You had Drea on there. Drea.
Oh, that's right.
Drea
Excuse
Michelle.
me.
But that's why
Drea's-
they brought Drea.
Drea's cute, and Drea was
cute.
the butt of
Didn't
all
care,
the drama
though. She
and
was-
jokes because
But you know
they
what?
didn't know
I
how to
like
handle it.
Drea.
I like Drea
Me too.
She's one of the characters on the
And,
LA
you
season
know,
I like the most.
Yes.
I don't know exactly what's going on with her, but she also tweeted out earlier this week that she's gonna be on MTV every hour
wow.
on the hour, which that used to be an old MTV news thing.
That's what I was
so
gonna say.
I don't know
They're
if
bringing
she's
that back.
doing some MTV news stuff for them, but Drea is
cool.
also definitely taking advantage of the opportunities.
she's trying to
Basketball
host,
Wives
too?
LA, and she's getting her hustle
She's taking your
on.
hosting gig, is what you're talking
Taking
about.
my
Well, it's
hosting
okay
gig.
because we're at AfterBuzzing right now. We're talking
She's
about
got lip
Basketball
gloss
Wives,
lines,
Miami. Let's do some predictions and wrap up the show. Prediction time.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV.
Next week we might even do a HollyHoops.net report, little audio production for you.
do it.
Rebecca, why don't you lead off with what you think is going to happen? We did see a little bit of the scenes from next episode, but what do you think?
Yeah, all right, next week. So from the previews, it looks like we're going to see Kenya's dance auditions for her music video. I'm still so confused about this music video, just like the rest of them. But I think all hell is going to break loose. I don't know if that's when Tammy and Keisha get into it about Keisha not being black enough to be named Keisha, but I definitely think we're going to see a
Is
lot
that
more
their
drama.
argument? Is that
What?
is that some of it? Wow.
That's part of it.
You already know how I feel about that. I talked about that last time. They need to get off
Yeah.
that girl.
We're gonna see drama. I mean, I think Kenya's gonna be in the middle of it.
By next episode, we're gonna know for sure how not serious Kenya is, as far as like she's just doing stuff to get a rise out of people. Like we'll know that by next episode, but it pretty much already looks
So
that
did it
way.
look like she's making another YouTube video? Like with this music video, it's just going to be the same quality project?
Maybe. I just can't get over the
Maybe-
team thing. How she brought 18 people with her to the most exclusive club out there, one of them.
Well,
you know?
listen, I understand bringing your team with you and bringing your people, but I mean, have people in your corner that know what they're doing.
Right.
Like, they all came in there. It came in like 8 people who had no idea what was going on, and they were all
Asking for
just
the
trying to
hookup.
talk. And, you know, it's fine. If you have an entourage and your entourage is about their business, cool. But
Yeah.
otherwise,
I would be interested to know what people think of Kenya. I know the ratings were really good for the first episode last week.
5 million,
Um,
5+ million.
But
last
we'll have to scour like VH1.com and kind of see the comments or whatever. I want to know if people are really enjoying Kenya. I would say probably not, but
It's early though.
it is early.
You know,
But do they like
tweets about
Keisha?
her
Or are they
hair.
making fun of her voice?
I don't, I've seen a lot of stuff on Twitter about them talking about her accent and stuff, which, I mean, I don't know what the big deal with the
It's
Southern
cute.
accent is.
It
She's
doesn't
cute.
bother me.
Yeah,
Yeah,
she's
she's-
cute.
neither.
She's harmless.
She's pretty fly. I think she should
And
do
she's
well.
no drama, so she's trying to, do her best to maintain on this show
We'll see how
without
long that
getting
lasts.
involved. I
No,
know.
it might last because I mean, even the time where in the previews we see for the season, like she says, "Don't call me a bitch," and then Tammy does, and rather than getting excited about it, she just kind of like sat there, rolled her eyes, and like.
Well, in Keisha, with that whole situation, Keisha's about 5 feet tall, 100 pounds soaking wet, and Tammy is not. So
Okay, there you go. That's fair. Yeah.
Are
Do you have
you
any
crazy?
quick predictions, and then we'll do our little Twitter handles and move on to the end of the show.
I predict there's going to be a fight next episode.
Okay. I predict next episode I'm going to start liking Jen because Lauren Turner and her Beyond the Drama report has convinced me that there's something good about Jen.
That means you're going to try to get me to like Royce.
It's okay. You don't have to like Royce. I thought that, Jen is losing herself in the reality TV world. That was my only issue. But maybe I'm wrong. So we'll find out next episode as their beef continues. What do you think?
I want to see Keisha and Richard. I know it's probably not going to be next episode, but I need to see something because that's what we all know. She's on the show because of that situation.
Right.
I want to see a phone call, a text message, something. I want to see something.
I don't want to see Keisha and Evelyn go at it. That would be, and there was little seeds being built of something. Oh, and hollyhoops.net definitely knows. Okay, follow me on Twitter at Ronnie Jr Media if you want to continue the conversation, and of course at AfterBuzz TV. And before we do the girls real quick, let's say thank you to our technical Phil in the booth, working hard.
Phil. We love you, Phil.
Rebecca, real quick, where do we find you?
You can find me at Rebecca Prince TV, or you can check out blogs and weekly webisodes at hollyhoops.net.
Spicy.
And you can get spiced at spicy_Mari, SPICY_MARI.
You can contact me through Miss Mercedes for Twitter, MISMERCEDES.
And the real SmackDown starts after this show as the WWE, Maria Kanellis and her people, they come in here and make things happen too. So AfterBuzzTV.com, we appreciate you checking out our show. Basketball Wives, the after show, brought to you by Bing and Maria Menounos. We out of here. Thank you for watching. Peace.
I think we could get...
From Bing.com, executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.